welcome all of you to Mary Immaculate Catholic Church. We as a parish are a tight-knit, diverse community that strives to be welcoming, accepting, and loving of all God's people. We are here today to welcome, accept, and love all of you during this unprecedented moment in our parish, our school, and our city's history. Thank you for being here to share in our mutual experience of pain, faith, hope, and love. Last Thursday night, after we all learned that Mike did not survive the emergency surgery from the shooting attack, the family and I were in a secluded waiting room at Parkland. While waiting for the medics to prepare Mike for viewing, there were a lot of officers coming and going, offering support, communicating with Heidi and the girls what the next protocol steps would be, and so on. Coming into that waiting room filled with shock, grief, pain, and anger during those late hours was a team of other wife survivors that offered comfort and support. A couple of real close friends, practically family, brought hugs and assurances, and then around 1 a.m., the chief of police with the mayor came into that room. And those two men brought their strong, confident, humbled, and clearly saddened presence to the family. I must say that on that night and since then, I have been amazed and impressed with the level of care and support that the Dallas Police Department and the city of Dallas has provided to Heidi and the girls, and Mike's siblings, Ime and Billy. The DPD can hold their heads high for the manner in which they tend to the family of survivors. Now, at one moment in that small and segregated waiting room, it wasn't a large room, it was small, there was a lull in the activity of people coming and going. Heidi asked little Caroline if she wanted to ask me her question. Caroline paused a little bit and seemed a little embarrassed, but then Caroline asked me, "Why did God do this?" I immediately answered and said, "Oh, Caroline, God didn't do this. The anti-God did this. The evil one did this." Then a little while later, Heidi shared with us that before Mike left for his shift that evening, he told Caroline to kiss him goodbye, like it was his last time. I immediately looked at Caroline and said, "Caroline, now God did that. That's what God does." Now, those without faith will argue that if God were all good, all-knowing, all-loving, then why would there be evil in the world? And why would God allow evil to happen? It's a fair objection or argument. The answer to this dilemma, of course, is love. Love is the reason. Let me explain that. For love to be authentic, for it to be real, it must be freely chosen. Love is a choice. It is an act of the will. God has endowed his creatures, he has endowed us with a will that is free to choose to love or not to love. If love is not a free choice, then it is not authentic love. If God created us without free will and just created us as mechanisms to love, like he programmed us, that is not love at all. So the greatest gift that we have been given by God is our free will to choose to love God first and foremost, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. Unfortunately, and more of late it seems, some people are using their free will to choose hate. That's what we saw last Thursday night in Dallas. Someone who chose hate. And that's why I told Caroline that it was the anti-God, the evil one, not God, who is love. Then on the opposite end of that choice to hate, you have Sergeant Michael Smith. Mike freely chose to love God first and neighbor second, and his choice to do so time and time again enriched people's lives, enriched our lives. His choice to serve in the Army was a choice to love. His choice to serve for nearly 30 years in the Dallas Police Department was a daily choice to love as well as to serve and to defend. Yes, even serve and defend those who choose hate instead of love. His choice to work as many off-duty jobs as he possibly could was a choice to love his wife, Heidi, and his most precious loves, his daughters, Victoria and Caroline. As a side note, Mike also loved swimming with the girls, gardening, landscaping, and playing racquetball. He also loved mentoring others, whether it was his younger sister, Ime, his little brother, Billy, which he loved with, I think, a solid right hook one time when he was younger, or the officers that he trained and the at-risk youth that he helped over the years. Mike was always about choosing to love the other even over himself. He chose love with the same kind of passion that he had for upholding eternal truths, rights, and justice. And if you ever held an erroneous position on an issue, he would let you know. And he would let you know why your position was wrong. He held himself to a higher standard than he would others, but he still held us to a high standard. He wanted to be the best that he could be, and he wanted us to be the best we could be. Just a few of his accomplishments on the force include 86 commendations, the Certificate of Merit Police Shield, Certificate of Achievement Award, an award for 5 years No Driving Accident Award, Certificate of Merit, Officer of the Month, Officer of the Year, and the Cops Cop Award in 2010. Did I get all that right, Amy? Did I get all that right? Amy, yes? Okay. Cops Cop. He has been called that more than once. I'd say he was the best that he could be. We heard in the first reading from Joshua, "Be strong and steadfast. Do not fear nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." With these words, let us imagine Mike uttering them to us today and every day. I don't know why people choose hate over love, but they do. The reasons are probably many and complex and individual. Maybe they don't have examples of love in their life because they never met Mike. Maybe they choose hate because it's the easiest and vilest choice. Make no mistake, folks, to choose love is not easy. In fact, we can only choose it with the grace of God. May we, as a community, as a city, always choose the better portion. May we always freely choose to love.